Hey people, Kate Slinky here. How are we doing? So in this video today we're going to be looking at the Molten Demon himself, the avatar of Khaine, and just a few tips that I think will help, and some of the best teams that are out there, including some epic kind of free-to-play teams. And with this guy, I do feel he's still very new. Do you know what I mean? There is some probably really good other teams out there. There's a lot of combos with this guy. But I do feel he's been made purely for some future factions that are really going to combat against this guy. World Eaters, I think, is one faction. I think once the whole faction's out of them, I think they'll do well here against this guy. This game kind of has that kind of feel at times that they introduce something and then in the future there's some good counters knowing that it's coming. So we'll see anyway. We're not going to go too much into detail of about him because everyone knows how much of a pain he actually is. So I don't want to kind of delve too much into this because everyone can see this. But it's purely just to point out the melter damage, which is crazy with this guy. And that's one of the tips, is just to try and stay out of the fire. Easier said than done. Because there's just flames everywhere, but you can just see this is at like kind of top legendary level 5 level. The melter damage is just crazy with this guy, so it's really getting out of the way. The fire damage is incredibly mad as well, so yeah, it's all about kind of staying out of the fire, staying out of the molten, because that melter damage will just rip through your teams at any level. His defenders, guardian defenders as well, they're a bit annoying. I do think they're a bit OP. I have some feeling that they may kind of nerf that a bit. I think it's too much for him, especially compared to other bosses where you haven't got the kind of, I mean, it says there, the blood runs, anger rises, war calls. At the end of his turn, he summons 2 guardians every time. Now, that can be a lot. If you're not got summons taking care of them guardians, that can really build up and just be such a pain for your summons, or such a pain getting in the way. And these are pretty decent defenders as well. Do you know what I mean? They don't take any damage also from the fire or anything like that. They're unstoppable. So they can be a real pain to deal with. Also, normal traits kind of thing for a boss, apart from this guy's a demon as well, is a big target, immune, and as I said, the demon, so he's got additional 25% chance to block, 50% of his own current damage stat. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this guy in action and just some of the teams here. The first team I'm going to be using is like an epic kind of free-to-play team. And as you can see, these are all characters that you can, if you just started the game or been playing with us for a while, these are all easable, grindable characters that everyone will have. I've got, again, take advantage of them health hexes, making sure you put the characters on there because they will save you so much kind of damage taken away. They will just survive for majority of the fight. I've got calendars there at the top, getting a bit of height. Most people have got calendars, and he was doing okay damage again at okay damage at like epic level. Again, Aleph Null is a great kind of character to have, not only kind of this epic level but also in higher levels. And Bellator is another one, really good at kind of taking some damage and just kind of wasting up till you've got enough, and then just to summon all the rest of them. Again, with the Scarabs and Bellator, they can take care of all the kind of guardians that come at you, as well as keeping the avatar at bay and also doing some decent damage. This is, like I said, epic, so I think I ended roughly anything between, I think it was just over 30 or just under 40k. All in all, you kind of don't see the last round, but it's a decent kind of score, to be fair, for a kind of epic level boss and epic level characters. So this can be done by everyone. And the Archimagus was also there, who can do some great damage also with his blood letters. Now this is another team at that epic level, and this is the Neuro Team, which I think is kind of the probably better team out there at the moment at the high rank, as well as the kind of epic level. You're going to need a Abraxas, that will really help. Ahriman, if you've got him. If not, there's other psychers out there. But Neurophobe and Abraxas are probably the main. If you've got them two and been looking to get them, they can do so well against this boss. Again, it's about getting them placed in the right place. Neurophobe there on the health as well as Abraxas. Getting the summons out. You can just see the crazy fire damage just out at the bottom. But you just keep stacking up with the Neurophobe, and then you'll just kind of get to the point where you just do some crazy damage. As you will see shortly in a minute. We're sending Bellator down now just to keep him at bay, keep the summons around. Then Neuroparasites, which we're going to keep building up as much as you can, using whatever cycles you've got. I said Abraxas is really handy. Here we go now, we're going to move them around. And you'll just see the damage that the Neurophobe will be doing. Okay, there's more Neuroparasites we want. Keeping, there's no Neuroparasite. Bang. And there you can see that was just under 9,000, which at epic level was really good. Again, this kind of fight, you don't see the last round, but it ended up, I think it was about 75,000, which is a decent score. But again, it really relies on making sure that you've got Neurophobe and Abraxas in your roster, just to kind of have a decent round. Now we're going to go to the legendary kind of side to it. This is one team that does well, but you kind of need, if you can, to push them to the right just to get a bit of high ground. If you've got Ragnar here on the high ground, you're going to do some decent damage. I took Ulf here. You can see what I like about Ulf on this is just putting down that special and getting the ice around, because it just stops just for a couple of rounds that fire damage around him. So you can, as you can see now, you've just got the ice. So instead of taking the fire damage, you're just going to be standing on ice. You're not going to be taking out fire damage. Yes, you can take extra crit damage, I think the ice causes, but it's better that than the molten. Again, I've got Alafnol here, who seems to do well. And Calgar is just great just to give that bit of boost damage. Them Scarabs, as I said before, they're amazing for kind of looking after the Guardians, keeping them at bay, because they are just such a big annoyance here. Sending Bellator now, we've kind of got him wrapped around. That was some crazy damage from him, but we're just able now just to, the last couple of rounds, go in and do a bit of decent damage. Ragnar there, got done with a few more crits. Ulf does okay. Get some nice crits there from Bellator. Alafnol's still keeping alive. Still got a few of his Scarabs around. Say goodbye to Ragnar. And that's just to show you the damage he's been taking under fire. Towards the end now. What is that? Just over 200,000, which is pretty decent. But I said there's better teams out there. Next, this is from one of my guild members, Crex, and this is using, which I think is the better team out there, the Neurophobe team. Also, we've got Ross Wither with us, and Ross Wither is another kind of decent character to have, just because she can take a punch, she can do decent damage, and yeah, she's all in all, she's quite decent across a lot of bosses, but I think she does well here. Again, she's looking after taking care of the Guardians below. But you can see we've got the Neurophobe pushing him up. This is the legendary map, so you want to kind of push him up as much as you can, trying to get that high ledge. Remember, the Neurophobe has got a great range as well, so if we can get him at a decent kind of range, we can get some decent damage, as you'll see shortly. There we go, just build up them Neuroparasites. Neurophobe at range, there we go, 38,000 was a great hit. So just want to keep them at bay. We've lost quite a few summons then. We can get a few more Neuroparasites on. There's another one. There's another one. And Abraxas is another one. The fire damage is a bit crazy there. Decent hit from. There we go, 71,000, which is just crazy damage. He has a decent round here. Again, and that's just keeping Neurophobe up there. Out of the way. Last couple of rounds now. That's it. Stay out of that fire damage there. Okay, Yazza taking a decent hit. Braxis, there we go, and another big hit there. So 400 and 13,000 was that. So again, as I said, that's probably the better teams I've seen against this guy have always been the Neuro Team. And the last one I just wanted to quickly show was this kind of Mitch match team with Mesa, Asimo, and again Ulf, Kalgar, and Ragnar. And again, this is it was just a bit of an experiment. Asimo actually did decent damage here. It got that kind of skill that it kind of increases damage in everyone as well. Mesa, as you can see, does really good damage as well. And it was just kind of see how well they can do. If you've got these characters, I would recommend kind of ranking them up if you wanted to kind of build a team for this boss, because they can do all right. I think, as you can see there, with still keeping Mesa alive. We're on to over 200,000, which is pretty decent. Again, another taking damage there. The ice is gone now. Some nice hits there, and it's some great crits there. What was that about? That was critting about just under 4,000 each there for Mesa. So it's decent hits. He's going to die now, unfortunately. Yeah, he's dead. And as my previous video with Mesa, the kind of more damage and health he loses, the harder he hits. And he did surprise me how well he did. How well his team did, to be fair. It was just, here we go, just finishing off now. Last couple of hits. I think we're going to lose one of them here. There we go. Last few hits there from Azzy, Kalgar, and Ulf. So 335,000. So not too bad. So all in all, that was just kind of show just the kind of different teams that you can take against this guy. Like I said, there's no... I'm not going to say right or wrong team, because obviously there is some bad eggs you could take, but there's a lot of kind of combos you can do with this against this guy. It's the first kind of boss we've had without your LD or Ifana or Morgan Ra, so it's kind of a different step for a boss. But it's all about kind of main tips to take away is staying out of fight when you can, finding them kind of hexes that are the health hexes or have no fire on, because you're just going to last so much longer. You want a kind of mixture of ranged and melee and as many summons as you can. The Neuro Team, I would say, out of all the teams, if you've got him, is the best. But if you're new to the game, do you know what I mean, there is kind of some decent, like Calendis, do you know what I mean, get him up high and get some decent damage off him until you get that kind of Neuro Team. That's what I can recommend, really. But it'd be interesting to know what you guys out there, what kind of teams you're taking. Is there any characters that have kind of surprised you when you first started using them against this boss? Be interesting to know. This is not the first video I'm going to be doing on this boss. There's a lot more in the future. Like I said, I think there's a lot more characters to come that I think will do well against this guy. So I hope that helps some people out. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to check out some other videos and also hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Take care, bye bye.